Corvus my Glaive. Yes, we are doing a video on my rank 5 Corvus Glaive. Oh, he's maxed out and he's so lovely. Now, I've recently changed my masteries and I am finding that this champion is a lot more beneficial from a lot of stuff. Look, a lot of people know this, and a lot of people, well, I'm sure there's some people out there that don't know this, that this champion functions very well for a lot of different areas in game. He's an ultimate quest that isn't more, well, he isn't suited whatsoever to Labyrinth of Legends and Abyss of Legends, but certainly has a lot of clearing factors to things like Act 6, Act 5, lots of content, an amazing uncollected monthly go-to champion, not to mention the fact variants as well. He is definitely the man for all seasons, especially because there's so much utility, and I'm going to be showcasing some stuff that I've been doing, like Variant 1. I went back in and did a lot of Variant 1, and then as well, I've been doing some stuff with this guy in Act 6. So Act 6.3 I've been utilising him a lot more as well, and just thought I'd do a video, put some footage over the top of stuff, talk about this champion. If you don't have him, he is a go-to champion to get. It's quite alright when it comes to being unawakened, and as well as a complete powerhouse when it comes to being unawakened. But with this guy as well, it's always important to run boo-boo, nasty, profit and loss, ouchie, positive masteries, which, anyway, self-deletion masteries. Maybe I should call it that. I can't say it. YouTube don't like it when I say it. But these masteries right here. So you've got things like Double Edge, Liquid Courage, and then going over, and Despair as well, and other stuff. Anyway, video coming out about this. But yeah, let's get into it. Now, it used to be a case that Corvus used to go into Alliance War, so I never got to really utilise him as much as I wanted to. So going Alliance free for a little while has been quite beneficial to really maximise damage output, run the ouchie boo boo self-deletion masteries, and as well kind of utilise things like the persistent charges, understand a little bit more, because maybe there were times I wasn't really playing the champion as correctly as maybe I should do. But I suppose being in Alliance Wars all the time, it wasn't a case that I could really go, look, you know, I can train with him a bit more. And once I got him, I kind of put him to the side, because yes, it is that self-deletion mastery that he's the best with, and damage output so nicely. And I must admit as well, an incursions beast. Played with him, I think it was Wednesday night, and found that he was absolutely amazing for that. And of course, persistent charges. Not to mention damage output has been so tasty, spicy, and everything in between. But obviously there's going to be improvements for things, and these missions are amazing. So each time you get a mission, you'll get a lovely little cruelty buff, which means that when you do special attacks, for as long as the charges are on you, you will be able to do some amazing damage. And as well, have amazing utility for different situations. I'll give you a good example. Okay, so Variant 1. Now, if remembered, I'll put footage of him on top of Variant 1. Now, you're not going to get all the missions, but still you get the critical ones. So knock out a tech champion. Once this mission is complete, tech champions have 25% reduced ability. Kind of helpful, but even more helpful when it comes to completing the knocking out the challenged defenses. Use a heavy or a special attack to knock down an opponent that used evade or auto block in a fight. Once this mission is complete, his true damage buff becomes a true strike buff if the synergy with Proxima Midnight is active. Very, very handy when it comes to going up against these tricky defenders. So these, not tricky defenders, but tricky opponents. And in particular, Ultron, you know, evade failing, you want to see that, and that's the thing. I love that synergy, the Proxima Midnight synergy, that really helps. And going a little bit more depth to these synergies, there's only really two. There's an interesting one with Infinity Enemies, as all champions gain plus 7% attack. I don't think many synergies have that. Usually I thought it was like plus 6% attack. I could be wrong with that. But yeah, synergies wise. Hunt the Uncanny. Knock out a mutant champion. Once this mission is complete, Corvus receives Safeguard against the opponent's special 2 attack. If Glaive's immunity is active, preventing him from losing more 5% health from a single hit. It's not too bad. I must admit, I'm more focused on saving the slot for something like challenge defenses. So again, what we've just discussed, use a heavy attack, special attack, knock down an opponent that used an evade or auto block in a fight. Once this mission is complete, his true damage becomes true strike. So, you know, it's just kind of more helpful. As well, something that I do love is the special 2 for so many reasons. It's the big damage dealer for me. Yeah, you could look to put the special 1 in, which people may go, like, well, attack rating if opponent's suffering from an armor break debuff. You know, that's cool. If you time that in well and do it with an armor break, then happy days. But for me, it's all about seeing those big yellow numbers which are produced from the SP2. But the SP2 goes a little bit further. So you can actually kind of hit into an enemy, which I did this month. If you've seen my Storm video this month, you'll know that I smashed in a great amount of damage while the champion was close to an SP3. But that's the thing, you can go really close to the mark. Because it's an unblockable, it means that you don't need to worry about hitting into a champion that's got an SP3, you know, maybe all or nothing. This helps out towards it a little bit. I wouldn't say it's the best counter for all or nothing, but as long as the hit pool is acceptable for you to smash in a huge amount of damage. And I've done amazing damage with this. I'm sure there's out there like huge more damage than is being done, but seeing 37k, like scaling into something more than that. I'm sure with the 6-star you can do a lot more with it. And also, like, if you kind of do mastery changes to what I've done, yeah, you could see more damage. But, you know, whatever. It does the job. And as well, like the 20% of power being taken, that's probably the best thing, really. 20% of the opponent's power if they are at max power. So, yeah, just, you know, hit to SP3, smash in, take the damage, take the power away, and happy days. I think the big thing for me is utilizing stuff with armor break and well-timed blocks. So inflicting armor break, reducing the opponent's armor rating by obviously 370.59, depending on your rating and rarity. But I just love it. I just love this champion a lot more. And it's because I haven't really done much with this champion. That's the thing. I should have a long time ago, when I had the opportunity to have this champion for the first time, really kind of invested my resources more into it and got going with a lot of content rather than focusing on other champions first. I thank God that it's a case that since this champion's been introduced, that it's not been tampered with or kind of like changed in any way. There have been a few times where some people would say, well, maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. But still, you've got to work hard to get those persistent charges going from fight to fight. Those missions got to be completed. And at the same time, you know, it's not for huge hit pool fights, because a lot of the time that's the issue. As soon as you run out of charges, of which for this, you know, you only get 20 of them. And yeah, as you kind of complete stuff, you can get further 10 by doing things like the Avengers one, the Avengers mission. But as soon as you run out, and you're kind of like, you're a bit stuck, like, because you're waiting for a long time for it to reset, 50 seconds for it to reset to be exact. So that's the problem with kind of like you just got to watch out. If you've got the ouchie boo boo self deletion masteries, that's going to be a bit of an issue, because if you do special attacks, you can't do SP1 or SP2, and there's no point. So largely you'll be saving up to your SP3 to put that in. And the SP3, yes, attack rating of Corvus Glaive has at least a 1 glaive charge, the amount is doubled. So basically it's just all about attack rating for the SP3. So that's what you're doing each time. You can't throw in an SP1 and SP2, and it'd be pretty pointless because you're not going to do much damage. You're just there like waiting 50 seconds for everything to kind of reboot. So what can you really do? That's when it becomes a problem. That's when very, very high hit pool fights become a little bit worthless. And a lot of the time there's a bit of waiting round. You have to really kind of hope that you've got a lot of power on very quickly. And as well, as long as you save your power right. And it may be a case you utilize being in a block stance and kind of be more passive until you've got like an SP2 saved up and smash in. I know a lot of people do play about with different strategies with this champion, going, oh, well, you should do it like this, and you should do a different combination of medium and lights to make sure that you're kind of building up to your SP2 in a more easier format, so therefore you're not wasting too many of those charges. And yeah, okay, that's fine. It's up to you how you play this champion, but I know there will be a lot of people going, well, actually, Rich, there's a right way and there's a wrong way, and you know, most of the time you're playing it in the wrong way. So look, at the end of the day, you do you. If it works, it works. And for the best part of things, it's just a case of like, as long as you've got those charges up, and as long as it looks like the fight's going to be over soon, then have at it. If you want to take down an enemy and then just kind of like not focus too much on having to stay in a block stance, stay defensive for a lot of the time, building up power. And yeah, there will be champions out there that will benefit like power gain abilities and stuff, which could be very effective. But I absolutely love this champion, regardless if people kind of like criticize and say, it's got to be played like this, it's got to be played like that. You know, you've got to train with it. I think that's the main thing. And at the same time, you've got to really understand the extent of, can I build up power? Can I build it up quickly? Do I stay in a block stance? Do I do a combination of different types of medium lights in order to maximize power gain? Do I pair up with a different synergy type in order to benefit that? Those are your choices. But yeah, I must say I thoroughly enjoyed playing with Corvus Glaive and having him in my roster as just a main guy now. And I will kind of like consider my options whether or not I change my masteries, but I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing at the moment. And as well, you know, in this video just prior to recording it, I was doing a little bit of variant 1 and actually having a great time. So yeah, this has just been a little video on Corvus Glaive, my experience with now playing him a lot more based on obviously mastery changes and having a really good old time. Thanks to everybody for the support on the vids of late. It's been really amazing, and hopefully get to see you all very soon in a live stream. All the best, good day, goodbye.